Hey guys, you're watching GameSmart, and today we're taking a look at the Gwent Closed Beta, and this is my first impressions, initial thoughts on the title. So what is it? It's a collectible card game based on the Gwent card game from the Witcher series. It's been changed and revamped and reworked into a pretty well fleshed out system. It differs from other card games in that the unit cards don't have a health and attack as they do in, say, Hearthstone, and everything instead is represented by a single value strength. It also has 3 rows, melee, ranged, and siege for combat, and 3 rounds which are in some ways their own games, but some cards and abilities can last between rounds. The 5 different faction types for your deck are Monster, Northern Realms, Scoia'tael, Skellige, and Nilfgaard. Each deck has a unique passive, and depending on what leader you choose for your faction, and how you build your deck, you can have multiple playstyles within that faction. For example, you can have a monster deck focused on absorbing other units and getting power that way, or a deck focused on weather effects and weather-resistant cards, along with other strategies. As it is still in development, there is no campaign, which is unfortunate as I believe it would solve one of my issues in that you don't get all that many card packs or kegs as they're called in-game. I would assume that through the campaign, it would give you a lot of the ore and scrap, the in-game resources, which are gold and dust comparable for Hearthstone, as everyone's going to compare it to Hearthstone anyway. But it would give you those resources so that you can get the cards and the decks that you actually want. So most of the cards, including the unit cards, will have some sort of effect, and it's actually rare for a unit to just be a unit and nothing else. Due to this, there's a lot of plausible decks and combos, but the learning curve is increased as it will take some time to learn all the effects, and understand what you and your opponent can do in different scenarios. Also, due to the seemingly low number of cards that you start with, you might not even know the combos the opponent is using, let alone have the cards necessary to counter it effectively. My favorite thing in Gwent, compared at least to Hearthstone, is that it's not quite as random, or at least it seems that way. There's still the randomness inherent in card draw, but it is partially mitigated by having a larger initial hand size, and being able to redraw 3 cards at the start. The cards that do have random effects in the game are more restricted in their randomness, in that it seems that for the most part, the best and worst effects are not all that different in terms of strength, and there doesn't seem to be as many random cards. It is more destroy the most powerful or least powerful monster, stuff like that. I honestly wish that CD Projekt Red would change or remove some of these more random effects to be more calculated, like max, min, median, something like that, as opposed to just random. I don't really want to win or lose based on a dice roll or random chance. If I win, I want it to be because I played better, and if I lose, I want to know the opponent played better and why I lost, not just some random dice roll deciding the matches more than it has to. The matchmaking system is okay, as it seems to work based on player level. It should also take into effect the number of cards each person has, as it's no fun in the beginning to go against someone who is the same level as you, but has spent a shit ton more money than you, and therefore has better cards and a better deck. So you go in at a disadvantage. Gwent, one of the nice things about it is it encourages a more friendly atmosphere by having a send good game button after the match, allowing you to spawn your opponent a small amount of in-game currency for the current match. Both parties usually do this for now, however, once the meta really forms, I could see the use of it going down, especially if your opponent uses a flavor of the month or a quote-unquote cheesy strategy, as you wouldn't really say a good game for that. The card balance is an interesting topic, and it's really hard to say at the current time how the balance is, as there's no real solid meta or counter meta that has formed. People don't actually have a lot of the cards or really understand some of the intricacies of cards and decks, so the decks being used can be all over the place in terms of what they're trying to do and how effectively they can do it based on what limited cards they have. The one thing that I kind of have a bit of an issue is that you can't buy scrap, which is the dust equivalent for those who are used to Hearthstone, the currency used to craft individual cards. It's a bit unfortunate that I can't just say, man, I really want this card, I better buy the amount of scrap I need to get it, but I have to now buy a keg or a pack of cards, which they give you 5 cards and it always contains a rare, epic, or legendary, And you are able to choose that rare, epic, or legendary card from a set of 3 options, which is a nice touch, but at the same time you can't actually just like directly buy the card that you actually want or need to complete your deck. As an aside, I think it would be really cool if they released physical card packs that had like a QR code or something that allows you to use the cards in-game, but then also have the physical copy. Because that would just sell like hotcakes, and I mean, which video game company doesn't like money? But anyway, it's in closed beta. There's still bugs. I've had a couple of graphical issues, and they have like some like AA and anti-aliasing shit to like work out. But I've also had my units randomly lose some of their effects or randomly transfer them to another unit, which is kind of annoying, and it happens really infrequently, which is good. And it's probably caused by basically every card having some sort of effect, so they have to code each effect, and then just layering all that shit on top of each other, it can get rather jumbled. Overall, Gwent, even at its current state in closed beta, is really good. The campaign should fix the low number of cards issues and give you a more of a range of things to play. The matchmaking can easily be tweaked and will improve as more people get more cards at the time, so you won't have this card disparity issue. The bugs will get fixed, and I encourage CD Projekt Red to continue to maintain its comparatively low level of randomness, and even take steps to further minimize random effects to be less dice rolling and have the games be more skill-based. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful at all, like, share, subscribe, leave any comment you want down below, and remember, don't game hard, game smart.